Hello, everyone, and welcome to this We Create EDU Hangout. I'm Jacqueline. I run a hands-on science channel called SciJoy, and I am joined by Ashley. Do you want to talk about what you're up to?
Sure. Hi, I'm Ashley. I have a channel called Ashliness Vlogs, and it is kind of a smorgasbord of random things, mostly having to do with music. And I'm going to work on trying to do more education things with that, music history, music appreciation, those kind of things. And I am applying to grad school for interactive media, so I'll be learning some animation and interviewing techniques and all kinds of interesting stuff. So. Yeah, and I was able to attend the PBS panel that Jacqueline moderated last week.
So, draw curiosity, you want us to talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to be reviewing Technicality's channel. So, just a quick recap. I'm guessing she wanted me to talk about it from the moderator side a little too, in addition to the panel. They just asked me to be moderator. I asked them why, and they said because I had done things for the community, like a lot of different things, mainly with the art assignment, I guess, is what I've done most for PBS, and they just thought I'd be a good moderator. So they asked me to do that, and I made some questions. We had a pre-hangout just to make sure that everything was going to go well, and then I did a logistics call. And then I went up early that day and did like mic checks and stuff like that. I haven't been mic'd up very many times, but there's a weird thing that I like to do. It's always a guy that does the like putting the microphone on, and he never introduces himself, and he starts like putting his hand like here and like, you know, all over the place. And when he's like here, I always just like look at him and I'm like, I'm Jacqueline, by the way, and like try and introduce myself in like the most uncomfortable moment. And then after the mic check, we went out to dinner and then we started the panel. And I think everyone really liked it. And I think the biggest thing I have from moderating to give a piece of advice is having them go through the questions was definitely helpful beforehand, but it was a women's panel and I did something a little bit different, a little bit rogue. I didn't talk about anything to do with being a woman YouTuber. And that was the theme of it. It was supposed to be during like Women's Week. And the panelist and a couple of female people at the YouTube space told me that they actually liked it. That it wasn't the same, like the comment section sucks and the internet hates women, that it talked more about their skills. So that was, I was risky, but it worked out. I think that's mostly the feedback I have for that. I don't know if you want to talk about it at all as I look over at the chat window.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was funny that one of the huge takeaways from all of the women on the panel was that you should just try to create the thing that you want to create. They were all, when I asked all those questions about, you know, followers and you know, what if it's not good enough and all that kind of thing, they were all very adamant about the fact that you should just try to keep creating, and you always get better the more you create things, which is something I struggle with, so it was nice to hear.
And I think their big push too, since they were all, sorry, we didn't tell you what the panel was.
Oh,
that was a terrible mistake on my part. So it was a woman on YouTube, like being a curious creator. So it was 3 education ones. It was Gross Science, Braincraft, and Infinite series that were up there, and they kind of talked about their different experiences. They're very different experiences. 2 of them had like all of them have backgrounds in math and science. 2 of them had communications degrees. They don't think that helped them too much, but they had all done videos or writing or something like that before they were picked up by PBS. I believe Braincraft, and somebody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Braincraft owns all their own stuff and is just licensing it. I think Gross Science is more a channel created by Nova, and then PBS took it. And then I know Infinite series, they were just looking for a writer and a host. So it's like 3 different areas. Do you have anything else to add, or should we move on to the channel review? Because I want to make sure we have enough time to do that.
We can move on.
So we're going to review Technicality's channel. And for anyone that doesn't know, he had a gigantic day today. He was a guest host on Tom Scott's channel and gained many subscribers, tons of views, and I think has been featured in various places on Reddit. So big day and congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
Very awesome. So I was trying to look at some of your channel stats earlier today, and you can see that they're all like going through the roof, which is a really great day for you. So last time we had Brian from Adventure Science on, and we kind of just spitballed it. But this time I'm trying to get better with each iteration. I asked him to fill out a form and to tell us some of the things he wants for his channel. So I'm going to show that on my screen. If I'm looking over here, it's to look at the chat. But I'm going to share that on my screen, and we're going to go through some of the responses he had. So when we are giving him advice, we know what his goals are for his channel. So I'm going to pull that up right now. And chat, I am watching. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything to add, please do so. And you can all go to Technicality's channel. And the answers to the forms and the comments for him should both be in the Google Drive. There we go. So this is the form that I asked Alex to fill out. Why did he make his YouTube channel? He was looking for a way to share facts and mind-blowing things that he had found out with his friends. He's trying to brighten everybody's day through learning more things, and he does that, he says, through bad puns, and he has a lot of humor. Is definitely something I've always noticed in his videos. Definitely brings that in there. And then, what are you trying to get out of YouTube? Right now, just passionate about making movies, storytelling, and building a community. Goals for your channel: to keep just making videos. He's a student right now, but in the future would like it to be a full-time job. And I think you're in the chat too. Do you want YouTube to be your full-time job, or do you want like making videos in any medium to be your full-time job? I asked that mostly because my sister got a start on YouTube, and now she went to film school and works for a production company. So is it like more that you want to do, or do you want YouTube to be the end goal? Target audience is anybody. Probably millennials are watching it mostly now. Advice. This is what we need to help out with. So publicity and putting his stuff out there. Channel strengths are it's appealing. Weaknesses, just that he's just a kid, and especially since it's very educational content, probably worried that people don't take this seriously. And then he does put it on a bunch of different social medias when he puts it out there. So that's the general form that I asked him to fill out, which I think is good for us to know before we start reviewing the channel. In the comments, he said, on the full-time job, I would love any job making videos. I'm on the YouTube track right now, but I'm fond of film creation in general. So, as for your strengths, I definitely think building your community is one of your strengths. I noticed that in your videos, you comment on, I think you respond to pretty much every comment, and then you also have comment response videos in general. I can switch over to his channel. And then for weaknesses, do we have advice for how to market? This is open to the chat too. In the comments, they said, after watching your channel, I certainly take you seriously. I think one thing that helps with people taking you seriously is you do have a lot of your cited works and references in the bottom, which I think is really, really good. I also think you can use your age to your advantage. You could probably get a lot of cool opportunities by being a student. You know, you could probably ask to interview somebody or get to do something that older people probably wouldn't get to do. So do you have any advice, Ashley, or people in the chat for making your videos publicity and stuff like that? I do have a new feature we can look at as people are thinking. So I don't know if anyone in the chat uses TubeBuddy, but now I started like 2 days ago, and I can actually see other people's channels. If the Good News channel is on, I know that he uses it sometimes. But even like over here, you're going to see my channel compared, which is going to be a sad little green line. But so you can go to other people's channels and you can compare yourselves to them. I guess it's going to be a little bit slower because we're on Hangouts right now. But this is really good for competitors' channels. Oh, it's going to take forever because they're on Hangouts. But one of the cool things, I don't know.
Is TubeBuddy a like a peripheral kind of thing, or is it part of the YouTube?
It's an extension you can get, and a lot of the features you can get for free.
Okay.
But one of the things you could do, that's not even showing up. But I know if you, Alex, if you get TubeBuddy, one of the things you should be able to do is use that TubeBuddy thing to see who's sharing your content. And this one that you just released today, along with Tom Scott's, is being shared a lot on Twitter. And people are saying, hey, I know you always had this question about Coke. And those were some of the tweets I was seeing earlier. I'm sorry I can't look at it now and that my computer's super slow. But it's called like Social Monitor or something like that. So you can see where people are already sharing it and where you're having an impact. And it can actually look for your URL for your video. So even if people aren't mentioning you in their tweets, you can kind of track down where your video is. I'm just using the premium one right now because it's a free trial, and then I'll probably maybe get it because of the ICG discount. Other people, do you have premium accounts? I know that people in the chat said they have TubeBuddies. And the chat's also asking, where do you post on Reddit? Oh, and if you want more TubeBuddy advice or a discount for TubeBuddy, YouTubers United, the podcast by Political Junkie and Step Back History, their podcast has a discount code, and they also talk about how they use that service. So I know I'm going to look at the comments. This was some comments that were put in before we started this. Channel tags, I did look at some of them. He has longer tags. Here we go. Some of the tags you have are good. They're longer. I think from looking earlier, this demand characteristics was ranked like number 5 in the search results that I saw. So you were ranked pretty high up there for that one. Some of these other ones, you didn't rank at all. Like STEM's a broad category that there's a lot of competition for. But when you used more niche things like demand characteristics, you definitely were ranking higher for those. And I think that having videos like this probably also helps you if we were to dive into your analytics, since you linked to Matt. I'm guessing that's conjectures. Then you're probably on the suggested videos for him, and he's probably on it for you. So that's a really good feature to put in there. And like I said, your works cited is really good with your sources. You might want to have a little bit longer of a description up here just for a couple more keywords. Yeah, the discount code, I believe they gave in the podcast. You can also just message them on the Slack. Sorry. Channel tags. Where do you post on Reddit? We already asked that. I think you answered it in the comments. YouTube auto posting. Do you post your, I guess the question is, do you post your own links, or do you have it like automatically post from like IFTTT? Ashley, what do you do when you release a video?
I think I do it through YouTube for Twitter, and then I have my Twitter goes out to Facebook and Tumblr and like everything else through IFTTT, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I only use that for Facebook because I know Facebook's not going to get me any traffic. Facebook and Reddit, and I just post it to my own Reddit. But for Twitter and Tumblr, I post native ones. There's also a GIF feature that is with TubeBuddy, so you can take like a GIF of your video, and I guess that's good for things like Instagram. Does anyone that uses TubeBuddy, do you guys do that? Do you put GIFs or GIFs, whatever you want to call them? Do you put them out on Twitter or Instagram? Channel tags. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to go into my depths of my thing, but they were asking actually about not video tags, but channel tags. If you go deep into your settings, you can actually have specific tags for your channels.
I wonder if I do that. I don't even know if I do that.
Yeah, there's like it's pretty hidden.
Okay, I was gonna say if it's something that came up at some point setting up the channel, I probably did, but
I found it like 2 years in. I think it's under where you can pick managers and things or rename your channel. I think it's under that tab that you can go in and you can put like keywords for your general channel. And by auto posting, they meant do you use when you go to post a video and in the corner it says post this to Google Plus or post this to Twitter, and you can check that?
Yeah, that's what I do that for Twitter.
Okay. And Technicality does do the IFTT for every video, but he puts Twitter on himself.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on the video. Like, if I have something that won't fit in that box or doesn't, like if I have something else in addition to say on Twitter or something, I'll do a separate post, but a lot of times I do just fill it in through YouTube.
I personally get the most engagement with pictures. If I do Instagram to Twitter, that's when I get the most engagement. So I'm always wondering if I should do pictures via there. And Alex, you said you do Snapchat to promote your videos. Do you have any idea how well that works? I don't know how many people follow your Snapchat. And the chat pointed out your Twitter feed does post every time you like a video. I never know if that's a good thing for Twitter, because on the one hand, I'm always like, oh, that's really nice that this person did that. But on the other hand, I don't like to follow channels that do that.
I still do. I think something is still set up for mine to go out like that. And I was like, I think I want to change that because I don't know if I need everyone knowing every time I add something to a playlist or, you know, or like a video or whatever.
So I'm looking for I'm trying to find in the background the channel tags.
Yeah, I was looking for that too.
Yeah, that the chat was wondering if it was good to tweet out every time you like something. "200 people viewing your story on Snapchat's pretty good."
Yeah, that's good.
And I know this isn't helping you too much with your channel, but I'm just wondering with Snapchat, the only one that I really like to follow is Destin. Do you use yours more as like a vlog? And what do people think about that? Because we're educators, so it's harder to show that side of ourselves. And I like that Destin tries to do that through his Snapchat. I will find where to put these channel tags and I will let you guys know. chat says, I find it a bit annoying on my feed, but I don't know if fans might like it because they see other channels you like. That's true. I think it depends on how often you do it.
I would agree with that.
Just can't find the tags for the channel. I'll look for them a little bit later. We'll go back to his channel. I think it just unsubscribed me from you.
I don't know.
Do you have a channel trailer? Alex, you can tell us in the comments. I can't see it because I'm supposed to be subscribed to you.
There is one that shows up.
I just get the Trappist one.
Oh yeah, that's what I got too. And I wasn't subscribed.
So you might want to do a channel trailer at some point, especially since you're getting a lot of new people. I do like in your latest video that you kind of did a mini trailer at the very end for everyone that was new. Some things we talked about with Brian last time was playlist, and you do new here, try these. I really like that as a title for a playlist, some of your best of and picking out the things that you really like. I think that's really good. And then you have your uploads and popular uploads and a playlist by topic. Any trailer recommendations? Just a really short video, usually like 30 seconds to a minute, that kind of encompasses your channel. Especially now that you got a bump, you might want to put a little trailer. How does everyone look for channels? Like if I go to a new channel, I watch their trailer. Do most people do that?
I do.
Like if I found you on Tom Scott, I would come to your channel, and the first thing I would do is watch your trailer and then maybe your latest video.
Yeah, I would probably do the same. Unless there was, a lot of times I do find them from like recommended videos or watch, something like that. But yeah, I usually do watch the trailers.
Sorry, trying to share my screen again. Okay. So back to his front channel page. So the trailer, you said maybe try and get tags for your channel. You probably have a lot of people following your Snapchat because I like it. It's up in the corner over here. There's not too many people that I see that have their Snapchat linked to their Snapchat. We already talked about all your playlists. Does anyone have any more comments on the front page? Somebody says they subscribe based on one really good video. Trailers have little to no effect on me. I don't do that as much because sometimes you have one really good video and then the rest of your videos aren't so good, or I don't like the rest of your channel.
That's happened to me too, where I've liked one video and then I've watched something else and I was like, I don't know.
So if we go to the typical thumbnail title situation, what do you guys think about some of these thumbnails and titles? Is there one from what you see right here? What one are you most likely to click on?
I watched that Hamilton one before I watched anything else, honestly.
There you go.
Just because I knew that was something. I would probably watch Hamilton and the Project for Awesome because those are things that I'm familiar with.
Yeah. I was wondering, so many of these, I'm guessing that most of yours comes from, or a lot of yours comes from search, because this video right here has a dip in you have pretty steady views, except for like Project for Awesome and the drone one. But these seem to have pretty good titles that I would guess that are good for SEO.
Yeah, and I feel like they are pretty, they give you a pretty good idea of what's happening in the video.
Yeah, they're good titles, but they're not clickbaity.
Exactly.
Like, what are advent calendars? That's something that a lot of people are probably Googling, and I'm guessing since this was Project for Awesome, this was at the end of December because it was right after it. So that was a good, like, timely hero kind of content. So I think you do a good job at figuring out the titles for your videos. I think the thumbnails are good. Some of them are a little heavy, like this one, but that's got a ton of views, so what do I know?
Yeah, I agree with you though on that. But I also like I started listening to 99% Invisible, and now I'm a little more focused on simple design. So things that get the point across, still look like pretty, but don't overdo it with lots of extra things. I don't think that one's too bad, but I know what you mean about, some of them are a little busy.
But I do think putting Dory right in the middle was good.
Yeah, that was great.
He said, yeah, I can get a little stuff crazy with thumbnails. That's better than like having nothing.
Yes.
But I do think I don't know if you use TubeBuddy for your actual titles, but I think they're pretty catchy titles. Mr. Beat's Social Studies channel says, yes, simple design. I've gravitated toward shorter titles. So one general thing that I would say is if you do want to do some filmmaking stuff and whatnot later on too, now would be the time, I would think, in the chat, and you can tell me if you disagree, would be the time to also experiment. And I do think you experiment a lot with your videos. You have a lot of like effects and stuff in there, but I know a lot of people try and use their channels to get something bigger and better. If you want to go beyond YouTube, like I don't know what your plan is after high school, if you want to go to like film school or if you want to go more in the science route. I go same with my sister. She did a bunch of music video contests and kept pushing her skills, and then she used those skills she learned from them to do like her portfolio that she gave to NYU, and then she got into NYU, and now she works for a production company in New York. So if you're going to experiment, I would think now would be the time to do that. And something we learned at VidCon too was even if you want to go work for a different company that does bigger effects like Rocket Jump Film School or something like that, just the fact that you have the ability to do this stuff on your own and to do social media and all that, you're pretty much building up an amazing portfolio. And like Tom Scott said, that you're much better than most of us are. And you're gonna take over our jobs.
Yep. Yeah, like I'm applying to grad school now, and I don't even know how many videos do I have. Not that many, but I'm trying to put a portfolio together, and I'll have enough, but I wish I had made more videos or audio things to be able to put it into that portfolio. So you're in good shape there. So yeah, like Jacqueline said, keep experimenting and improving your skills.
I like that. Unlike some of the channels we look at, you have all your links here. Again, I don't know if you want to put some more SEO stuff in your description. I like that you have cool things that have happened. Do you guys ever link content between these two channels? I know you're part of everything else, but do you ever have content that goes back and forth? And did you, I know you've done some collabs with Matt, but have you done collabs with other people in there?
He asked, what do you think I would add to the About page to increase SEO? We definitely do. Is that have collabs and link back and forth? Technicality?
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
I think so too. Mm-hmm.
I don't know any words off the top of my head, but I just know that this is a way for people to find your channel more. I'll try and think of some better keywords. I'm sorry, I am very, very tired today. We had our last 2 videos to push out to Google Making and Science, and I was up very late. But I will think of some more. Need more channel tags other than Technicality. It says Mr. Beach Social Studies class.
Mm-hmm.
Vsauce should be a channel tag, for example. Oh, let's. This is his Instagram channel. It looks like most. How many followers do you have? Most of the stuff you post is your videos. Link in the bio. Do you know if you get much traffic from your Instagram when you post these things? And does this go right to Twitter, or do you keep it natively on Instagram? Also, sorry, they said also education should be a tag. Let's pull up Twitter. New video. So you're asking how to get yourself more out there. So it does look like your Instagram comes over to here. Something I'm trying to do more of, and I get more engagement, is trying to do more posts in between and not just this is my video or these are some other videos I've liked. But you're good at community engagement, replying to people.
Are channel tags channel keywords? Is that what we're talking about here?
Did you find it?
I think so.
Yeah, is it just a blank box that you have?
Yep. It's under in the channel thing under advanced, and then there's like it's basic account information, country, and then channel keywords. And then things about advertisements and AdWords, and it's in that box.
Okay.
Or so, menu part.
I think that's something that not a lot of people find on their own.
I think I looked through every menu, honestly, because it's filled in.
Thank you for finding it.
You're welcome. No, I mean, even when I started, like I must have looked through all of them because that was filled in before That's why I thought it sounded familiar. Because I like it, but yeah. Like mine are music, creativity, and blog. I could probably have more, but that's, the basic gist of what my channel is about. So.
Or a thing that you can do is you can also go to other channels that are in your genre and try and take some of the keywords from them. I'm new to this TubeBuddy thing, but I also was looking at vidIQ and seeing what Tim Schmoyer had, and he uses that very heavily for finding people to collaborate with and finding other trending videos and taking their tags, and that just seemed like a lot more of looking at what else is out there, like the competition, which TubeBuddy does some, but I think it's harder to find those analytics, or it takes a little bit more effort. Chat, is there somewhere else you want me to look on his channel or his social media? Something else you can do for your playlists, you can add descriptions to them, and they can have more SEO also. I love this, by the way. In chronological order, that is amazing. I look for that in so many channels.
Mm-hmm.
This is a wonderful playlist. And I know you're also trying to do a lot more collabs. You did the Evolution collab. I'm not sure if you did the Create collab too. No, it is not just uploads. Uploads is not chronological order. Or it's reverse.
It's reverse. That's, I think.
It's the newest to the oldest. It's very, very hard and rare to find one that is the oldest to the newest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I always want that. If I'm like really into something, I want to watch it in order, or at least try to.
More comments. Playlists do autoplay things, which is an I know like the end of your latest video was pretty short too. Like you don't make these like long intros, which I like. It gets into the heart of the content. Sorry, chat, that I'm dragging today. Do you guys have more advice? Let's go to science experiments. Have you ever thought of, I don't know if you've reached out to Science C? More collabs with Tom Scott, yes. But have you ever reached out to Science C that's in our Slack and tried to do a collab with him? That is the other thing. I'm not just tired. This channel is also very good. So as the chat points out, it's hard to find things to help with. But I do see what you're saying about social media. You do have a lot of followers. It looks, if you're getting 200 story views, you have a lot of engagement. You said you have follow through from those. You guys should do a collab because you're both about the same age range and you both do science, like explainer things. If you have hands-on stuff, sometimes you can also try and go to, if we're talking about Reddit stuff, there are things that you can go to that have teachers on them, or people that are doing homeschool stuff, look for activities, or libraries. If I don't know if you do anything with your local library, but they are always looking for content and programming. So you could either go to the library and try and like do some in-person stuff, or you could maybe send them some of your videos and be like, hey, if you have activities you need for this summer, here are some ideas. I know more of the in-person outreach stuff because that's where I started, but yeah, I do know that people are always looking for cool hands-on stuff to do. And the chat says, for promotion, just continuing to develop a more presence on whatever social media venues you're comfortable with is good, and that's how you'll grow your audience too. One thing that since you do have over 10,000 subscribers, you probably have the live video unlocked too. I don't know if you've ever tried that. But if you have over 10,000 subs, you should have the mobile live feature available. So that could be something you could try to get more engagement with your community. And you can put it as live or as posted afterwards, but you don't have to. So you could do that for some of your Q&As too. You also seem to be pretty good about putting out consistent content, which is very impressive for being in school and putting out content so often. Does the chat have any more advice? Do you want to look at one thing? Yeah, see, YouTube did the weird thing where I came back to this page and it said I was not subscribed, and now it says I'm subscribed again.
Oh, yeah. I've had it do that before too. And then I'll click it and then I'll actually be unsubscribed. And I'll be like, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Is there a link to Tom Scott's video in your video? That's what I wanted to know. Yep. Okay. That's good, because then you're more likely to be in the suggested video for his. Sorry, I don't mean to make people dizzy. I think that's about all of the advice I have. I mean, you do all the things that, you should. You have good tags, titles, thumbnails. And if people want to check out his channel some more, and if you have any other advice or positive feedback is also good, he is in the Slack. You can talk to him on there. And I did make a document that's called comments for Technicality. So if you come up with things, you can put them in there. But I don't think I have any other critiques. Do you have any questions, Technicality, that you want to pose to the group? We have to wait a second. Do you have any final thoughts? I know that VidCon Europe is coming up, so good luck to everyone that's going to be in VidCon Europe.
Yes, have a great time, everybody.
And hopefully we'll get to hear back from them and see how that went and how it's different. So he says he's good. It's been helpful. So thank you guys, everyone, for being here. Next time will be on a Wednesday. I will find the date. It's going to be the Good News channel. He's already filled out the form, which I will post in the Slack. So it's going to be the 19th, and we're going to review the Good News channel. And I will try and come up with more of a list. You can give me feedback in the Slack and tell me how you would like these review hangouts to go, and we can kind of go through a checklist that way. Because this is for you guys to learn and to help other people. So thank you guys so much for sticking with us, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Bye, guys.